Hi there, and welcome to Story Time with Uncle Bill. And today's one of these days in the middle of November like this. Sometimes it falls on Thanksgiving. Um, I got blessed with a little girl. I'll tell you that story today. We don't really have a lot of pictures together. Go behind the cameras. Make sure you see her. That was her wedding day photo. I'd just like to say, I'm sure she'll see this. Happy birthday, and I love you a bunch. Um, Actually, the night she was born, we're gonna do some back today. The night she was born, her mom's sister had just started this waitress job at Rena J's. It was a bar, and asked me if I'd come out there and just hang out with her. She's a very pretty girl. She didn't want to be hit on and stuff, and then she did. She just said, "Hey, that's my sister's boyfriend right there." So I ended up staying till like 2 o'clock till it closed, 2:30. I only live right down the road. I didn't drink anything. Actually, some big old Marine dude ended up buying me like eight Mountain Dews at $1 a pop. This was in 95, 96. And I get home, and she always said, she had told me way before, because she had already had a baby. I was 18 years old. She said as soon as she felt like it was time, she was going to be wanting to have the sex, and she needed to take a shower and shave and all that, and then we would go to the hospital. And I already knew that. And I was like, okay. So when I came home, she said, it might be that time. So we had the sex, and then she goes, no, it's not ready yet. So we went to sleep probably about like 5 o'clock in the morning. She said, oh yeah, it's time. So she goes in the bathroom, does her thing. And I had loaded up the car. I was ready. I was excited. And we go to the hospital. And when we get there, she gets all naked and stuff. And the nurse goes, did y'all just get done having sex? And he goes, yeah. She goes, well, that's what's caused this. And I started laughing. And she proceeded to stick about this much of her arm. And my baby mama vagina, I mean, to the forearm. We're not talking about fingers or anything. We're talking about to the forearm. I was like, wow, that went in there pretty easy. But she, now the other stipulation is that when we got to the hospital, I was to stand there and hold her hand and warm up my biceps. When we got to the hospital, I was to be right by her side the whole time. Don't use the bathroom or anything. If it took a week, shit, piss yourself. Excuse me. So I agreed to it, and regardless of what she said there's a good chance she'd be cussing me out. I said I'll be right there, and I was true to my word too. And we're in there, and she started cussing. And say we get in there like 9 o'clock. The doctor came in there, and he was like, by 1 o'clock, the baby will be here. It was like 12:51 or something. It was close. Like 3-hour gap too. It's pretty impressive. She came pretty fast. 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Old heifer, big head down. Her head was so big they had to put a suction cup on it. So the doctor was like, push, push. She yelled out, I'm about to shit myself. I'm about to shit myself. And the nurse was just like, shit, just shit. And I've never experienced nothing like this. I mean, you just don't know what to expect. I didn't know to expect that. You know what I mean? So, let me keep working on it. So, she it's like, oh, there's something wrong. She needs some help. So I got a little concerned, you know what I mean? And it's amazing how instantly your mood can change. Oh God, I forgot about that. So anyway, they get this big old. It looks like a plunger that you put in a toilet. And goes down there, look, plop, and pulls her out. So she's got this thing on her head. She's ugly, man. I mean, she's beautiful, but she's ugly at the same time. Got all this stuff on her. Looks like an alien. I don't know what I thought. I thought maybe in my head, like when you see baby pictures, all that happens after the guk. You know, there's guk first. I ain't think about that. I remember watching the thing as a kid on sex ed and the baby coming out. But I'm being honest, she was ugly. After they cleaned her up and stuff, she turned pretty again. But man, am I even in a shot? Where's this lid? Okay, let's try that. Yeah, so they all cleaned her up. She had a big old cherry on her head from that suction cup. And they was like, yeah, they go away after a little while. Old lady cussed me out. Called me everything but my name. It was alright though. Squeezed my hand real good. She was tough. You know, you have an 8-pound, 2-ounce turkey. Old big headed thing. Well, I seen them shoot that needle in their foot. I didn't know about that. Spent the first like 2 weeks every night before she went to bed or when she would sleep, just looking over the crib. Guess everybody does that. And once you get through once you get through the process of first kid, I don't have any more kids, but I dealt with a whole bunch of other kids. It's just a whole lot easier. You watch the parents after the second, third one, the fourth one, they just almost don't even do nothing. Depending on the other ones to do it. Smart. But you always tell that. I don't really get no credit for her upbringing. So I had to go to federal prison for 5 years. My mom got custody of her. She couldn't have got raised by anybody better. And I'm always greatly appreciative of that. And then nobody ever asked much of me, except when they asked me to be here, I'll be here. And I made sure hell or high water that happened. And so when she graduated high school, it was above and beyond. She had those colorful ribbons on her. Couldn't have been more proud. She way exceeded me. I'm so impressed. And she went to damn college and did the same thing. Almost better. Never got into the drugs. I grew up around a long line of addicts. Long line of them. Her and my sister. Immediate family. It's pretty impressive. One of the people, they probably looked at me and say, "Yeah, that ain't worth it." And I said, I ain't saying she probably ain't tried something. She don't do it. And not that long ago, I got a little text message. Everybody call me Uncle Bill now. Uncle Bill was gonna be Grandpa Bill. And I couldn't have been more happier for her. She always wanted a baby, and she done good for herself to set up. She's at a good age. She's smart, very mature. She got dealt a horrible hand. Overcame it. So now I got a grandbaby on the way. Me and her never really actually talked about it. It ain't gonna be that much longer now. I'm pretty excited. And damn, the poor girl's sick right now. She ain't got the flu or COVID, but got some upper respiratory infection. Sucks. I hate for her. She did. She looked like an alien. Her damn head was so big they had to use a plunger. I didn't even know that was something you can do. You know what I mean? Like, that's how big your head was. And I got scared because you hear about the umbilical cord getting wrapped up and stuff. That wasn't happening. That dome piece was humongous. The hell. She got them certificates. Prove that shit's all brains, so Pulp Fiction. Look at the big brain on Brad. Hey, if you can, I don't even know if she watching my videos. Put happy birthday. Just put happy birthday at the bottom. We'll win the sky, we'll win the rockets on these. superset the biceps with it. Oh yeah. Man. You know, it's a good idea. We drop it. Whew. Excuse me. Oh man. I highly recommend you finding your favorite music. Music that gets you pumped up, jacked up, revved up. Music that makes you want to work out. And there's something that does. And if it don't, keep looking at something that hits you good. Maybe it's only one song. I got a whole bunch of them. Because when I listen to music, I'm trying to wonder why this dude wrote this song. And I also understand just because they sing a song, they wrote the song. But I'm wanting to know why you want it, why you wrote it. Because I understand empathy. I understand hurt. I understand joy, happiness, all the emojis. I understand all them. I also understand good people, bad people, shady people. I got street smarts and book smarts and prison experience with a bunch of county jails thrown in between there. And I bet I've been able to make people open up. I mean, tell me they good and they bad. And most of the time what somebody really needs is somebody to dump the bad off on. I've been that dude. I've been that dude so much. I've been that dude more in my life than I've been me. Because it needed to happen. And it only requires one thing. Shut up and listen. You ain't got to say nothing. But you got to really listen. You got to care. It can't be fake. You got to be who you are all the time. Even if they're not. Even if they're not. pausing down here to stretch the muscles out. I really hope you can see me. Wow. They on fire. It's nice to hear the good stuff. You know what I like to tell ask people? What's good with you? Because one, I genuinely care. And I would rather not hear the bad, but it's inevitable. It just takes time. And that, you know, a phone call, a meeting, a chance to interact. You gonna tell me? A lot of hurt. A lot of damn hurt. But in that process, you see change. Sometimes the process we're doing, you see like a person open up like a bud into a flower and become who they're supposed to be. They're that darkness that's been clouding, it's like lifted. You can see the weight lift. It's an incredible thing. Very, very rewarding. What it does above all else is it builds lifelong bonds. It should be strong enough that it should never be broken. It should be a communication that can never be cut off. Just so it's an incredible feeling. I've got it with thousands. And all I need is the right people to see one video, just to see that I'm out here. They come running, because it's hard to. Sometimes, you know, the only thing you could do is say thank you, and sometimes I could give you the world. I do things because I want to do it, and I know that because I'm doing something like that, because you don't get into heaven by doing good deeds. It doesn't say that in the Bible anywhere. So I don't have to do good deeds to get in heaven. What I do will get me into heaven. I just believe. You know what I mean? So the good things I do because I want to. And I try to do them. It says if you're going to do things, do it with an open heart, givingly. Don't be like, I don't want to do it, you know? And it's all mindset. Everything's mindset. And many times in my life, once my mind was set, man, it caused me a lot of trouble. A lot. In trouble. So, oh man. Wouldn't it be awesome if that aquarium broke right there because of an elbow? Am I bleeding? And I elbowed this thing right in the corner. I feel sorry for the aquarium. Shoot. Knocked my whole training off the Oh, the trouble, man. Trouble's so easy to get into and so hard to get out of. You got to deal with the law. God have mercy. Taking chances, man. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Come down to choices and mindset. Change your mind, change your life. Simple. And more oftentimes than not, you know what I use to change my mind? I use this workout thing. It helps out. It helps to get frustration, anger, and joy, stress. I get a benefit from it. All the good stuff. But something to do with Mother Nature. Don't lock yourself up in a situation. If you're not locked up, get free. Regardless of where you live, there's somewhere to walk. Even if you just don't walk up and down your driveway or your cul-de-sac or in a small yard apartment that's got 5 steps, go out there and walk. Try to get near some water. Moving water if you can. It'll change the way. And it doesn't always work. Nothing always works. You know, you can turn to drugs and everything else, but you want to turn to positive things. It's easy to quit and turn to all the bad things. It all comes down to choices. But I made a bunch of bad ones. And, you know, we talking about my daughter. I was in prison for 5 years, man. Thanksgiving's coming up tomorrow. I missed 5 of them. 5 Christmases, 5 birthdays, Valentine's Day, New Year's, 4th of July. I missed all that. Her every grade. She was 2. A little over 2. Cute little thing. I had to have all them talks with her too. It wasn't much of talk. It was just 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. Being in prison, being her mom, all of it. I was honest about it. You know what I mean? Just be honest. Tell her what kind of dude I am. You know what I mean? When you know she ain't have a chance to grow up. I mean, hey, this is how your daddy is. And you know, nobody tries to sugarcoat who or what I am or what I've done or anything. I don't allow it. You tell people straight up who I am. Like, look at all my videos. If you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, there's a comment thing at the bottom of every video. Ask. I'll be honest with you. You might not like the answer. I mean, it just is what it is. There's many people I don't like their answers and just have to say, hey man, it's just your choice. You know? But as much as I can, all my stories are true. 100% of the people to back it up. Most of them ain't. You know, you can ask a lot of people. Some of them are great, and some of them like, damn man, you ain't had enough yet. It just is what it is. I asked for it. I did. knew the value of listening. Young, before I was 15 years old, man, I burnt the phone up. Back in the 90s, boy, AT&T, MCI, Sprint, all the big name long distance became free. Most of y'all probably didn't know that. Everybody was competing to get your long distance money. Went from like 30 cents down to like, I didn't pay a phone bill for a couple years, and they were sending me a check to trade companies, and I would get a check every month because it wasn't like you had to stay. They didn't have you on a plan or anything. You could just cancel any time, and you didn't have to pay any money. It was all free. The check would come in the mail first. You call them up, say, okay, I'll switch. They would give you a confirmation number, and you could take the check and cash it. And then 5 days later, another one would come. It would be another check from another company, and you call them up, cancel the other one. I did that a lot. I'm talking about for a couple years, man. And each one, you wouldn't just get the check. You would get free minutes, thousands of free minutes. And I didn't even know but a couple people that was long distance anyway. But I had made enough calls that I got in the system. Well, maybe everybody did. It was awesome. I didn't pay no money. Man, I forgot why I was telling that story. I didn't pay a phone bill forever. Oh, the value of listening. Yeah. But it was something I was lacking. I was lacking experience. So I was sitting down at what I call the round table. And I had talked to a few people, a few girls that was going through something and I didn't know what to do about it. So I had asked God if he could, boy, this is where you got to be careful what you wish for. I had asked God if he could find a way to make it to where I could live through the situation, put me through everything. So that I could be somebody that experienced something and be able to relate it, so that maybe it would be something good for somebody to do, and maybe it would be a bad idea all the way around. And there were certain things that I was didn't know how it was going to work out, like getting shot, struck by lightning. Let's two that come off the top, but then there was just so much more. So when it does happen to me, I don't see it as a bad thing. I just see it as, man, you asked for it, and now I get to tell the story. And that's all it was about. Because maybe my story might unlock your story. And maybe, like, just when I say unlock, doesn't mean you actually have to tell your story to anybody or to a group or psychiatrist or a friend, family member, or some stranger. Just telling it to yourself to where it's okay. Because that's all it's about in the end. You know, most of the people I talk to, or most of the people that talk to me, regardless, I talked to one time 27 hours in a row. They had to change phones because the phones was dying. And at the end of it, I always ask the same thing. What is it you really think you should do? Because my opinion don't really mean nothing. You're going to do whatever it is you want to do. But maybe if you hear yourself out loud saying what's on your mind. Because you can think all day long. But once you shot it out to somebody, that's all a psychiatrist is. He's a mirror to yourself. He just comes up with good advice that you probably already know. Sometimes it's things you don't know. Sometimes you really need somebody else. And if you're somebody that isn't sure, go try. Go try somebody else. Don't. I wouldn't even suggest trying a family or friend. Go try something else. Professional. It's worth it, man. You're worth it. Thousands of people I talked to, they were all worth it. Always be honest with yourself. Start there. Everybody else. There's not one person you should be lying to. And that's the hardest. That's the hardest thing most people. And be able to take your truth, whatever the hell your truth is. If somebody says to you, "Hey, you got this," and you are that, don't lie about it. Not to make yourself look better. That's what you're trying to do. You're so ashamed of yourself. You lying to make yourself look better. How's that ever gonna work? I'm gonna sit here and tell you about all the bad. I'm gonna tell you about the bad. I don't want anybody to come up and say, "Hey, you did this." Yep, I damn sure did. And I talked about it here, and I'll talk about it every single time, because I have. I ain't never been perfect. Never trying to be perfect. I'm going to say words that people ain't going to like. I'm going to do things that people ain't going to like. And that's everybody that ever walked the earth. And I may have to apologize for some things, and I'll apologize wholeheartedly. I don't mean to offend anybody ever. I just am who I am. I say things that may hurt other people's feelings. Not intentionally. Wouldn't do it. I was raised a certain way. I've had to live through certain things. I've had to accept a bunch. I've had to be accepted a bunch. And I am accepted everywhere I go. I could walk into any hood just as I probably couldn't walk in the rich fancy section. I'm just ain't even close to nothing like that. Do we want to do any more of this? Freaking the bus. I'm going to do it different. Hands forward. Really squeeze on back there. I seen a dude. We was at a party. Everybody's not a good listener. Some people understand that there's a lot of stressors that come with listening. And let's go and cool down. I was at a party. I heard a dude say, "I never heard anything like this in my whole life." Didn't even know what to think about it because it was so honest. This guy come up to him. We'll just call a dude named Ron because I don't remember his name, but I really like him. Might actually been Bill too. My name is Bill. And this dude comes up. He's like, "Hey, Bill. Yeah, man. Let me tell you. Yesterday I went over." He's oh, yeah. And it just blew me off. It straight cut the dude off, man. I mean, cut him off like a snake's head. He just cut it off. He said, "What?" He said, "I don't care." Oh, I can still see it. I had just met this dude. Like, I had just met this dude like 6 minutes prior. And 5 of that we had just talked, and he just seemed like such a cool dude. He really was a cool dude, too. said, I don't care, dog. You ain't bringing none of your drama into my life. I ain't trying to listen to none of that shit. Hope you're doing well, though. And proceeded to walk right away from into the house. And you left the whole porch, man. I was laugh. I had just some 420s, left-handed cigarettes. Long time ago. This a long time ago. He said he don't care. And my mama's next door neighbor, she's the same way. Yeah, you can't really talk to her. She don't need no new friends. She's 75 years old now. I met her in her 30s. She didn't want to be involved. You gotta respect it, man. Just no, it's not me. But I guess I'm gonna go. Call my little girl, see what the hell she doing. We don't really hang out or nothing. She's 6. She probably don't even want to be messed with. And if I had to guess, she would get some breadsticks. She loves breadsticks. Man, I appreciate everybody rocking with me. If you're doing the workouts, I hope they're working for you. Let me comment something. Maybe if they are, I know it's a bad time to be working out, but they'll always be they're in the playlist. Fit in a year. Anytime you want. Hope everybody's having a good day and staying safe. Hit that like button, share it if you can, subscribe if you haven't. Love you, monkey.